What's up YouTube, this is All Things Quick. So we're back at you with another video. In today's video we're going to get at working on these boost lines from the wastegate over to the blow off valve to everywhere that we need to go with that. And then also we're going to be working on the fuel system. We don't have all the parts for the fuel system yet, but we do have the fuel pressure regulator that we can mount and get that stuff all ready. Put some oil in this thing and then we're going to fire it up, and basically we're running it on the stock mass airflow sensor right now, but we can run some oil through that turbo. That will be good, and we'll be pretty much on our way, almost ready to go and get this thing tuned. There are a few other problems with this car that need to be addressed before we actually go and get it tuned. One of them being that 3 of these window regulators are bad. So we got 1, 2, and then the driver's side is bad as well. Got to put some tail lights in this thing, and then a couple other small repairs that we got to do before we actually get this thing on the road. I just put this barbed fitting in the pipe here, so that's going to be for the wastegate. I threaded it in, but I stuck some JB weld around the edge because it wasn't a perfect hole, so that will dry up. It takes about an hour for that to dry. I'm gonna put that back in place, which would go right here in that place there, attach to the turbo, and then wait for that to dry, hook up a boost line to the wastegate there, and that's one section there. We're gonna put a T in that line all the way over to the blow off valve so we can pressurize that as well. But then that is the vacuum system done, except for a gauge, but right now we don't have a gauge. I'm gonna be running a gauge electronically that is split with a wideband sensor, so that's going to come later. So this is a pretty basic setup, but I have the boost line going from the wastegate on the bottom side of the wastegate going down to a T. So this T goes into the intercooler piping here, and that gives you boost pressure, but then it's also off onto a T over to the blow off valve, so then it can pressurize that thing as well. That system is done. The only additional thing that you would need is if you wanted to have a boost gauge, you'd have to put a T in here and then run a line into your car for the boost gauge, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'll do that later. Just put this hose on the crankcase vent here. I'm just going to stick that down there. Basically I just don't want it to splash back up. I've done this before and left it open, and all it does is just accumulate right on the top of your hood there. So I'm just going to put this down. Later on I'll get a longer hose so I can put it straight to the ground, but for now that's definitely good enough. So now I'm just going to fill this thing up with oil before I forget to actually do that. I'm going to take that off for now because I need to mess around in here for a bit. So I just got about 6 liters in there right now. I'm going to start it up for the first time, and then I'm going to top up the oil for whatever it needs. This is cool though. This is the first startup since we built this thing. I mean, with the boost setup on it, right? We started it before, but it was just the exhaust wasn't hooked up and nothing like that. And to be honest with you, like, I shouldn't be running it with the turbo anyways, really, because it's not tuned, so the AFRs are going to be super high. It's going to be running lean. Also, we need to get that fuel pump in there and the fuel pressure regulator. But I just noticed real quick, I chopped this. I'm gonna put a bolt in that thing and then block that off, and then we're good to go. Now I'm just going to start this thing up. Hopefully the battery's not dead though. Ooh! And of course the battery's dead, so I'm gonna boost this thing quick. So this is a pretty satisfying feeling, having all your exhaust actually come out the back, because really, like, we built this whole exhaust, well, I mean it was already built, but we put this whole exhaust together, so feel good about that. So as you just saw, it was running, everything was good with that. I'm happy with it. Now basically what I'm going to need is to make an inlet for this turbine, because once that headlight goes in, there's like barely any room whatsoever, eh? With that headlight in place, there's only this little portion of room for the air to flow. I want to modify this, and I want to open up this headlight, and I want to basically make a funnel and hone out the back side of it so that this can be the air duct. I just made a mark where I'm going to drill a hole. The only problem with this is that this is my only headlight here, and I've never done this before, so we're going to see how this all works out. just got the headlights back in and the turn signal, the side markers here. These ones I actually found behind my shed, so they must have been from that car, I'm pretty sure. And I put this windshield washer thing, or the washer fluid thing, I put this is from the parts car, but they're silver, but I'm not too worried about that. It still looks fine. Side markers are in, and that looks super cool. So yeah, I like that. So it all worked out with that thing. So I'm gonna put the bolts back in that thing, and then I'm gonna put the bumper back on, and I'm gonna shut this hood and see how it looks. I also just painted these brackets here because they were starting to rust. Just put some enamel paint on there just to cover the rust. It's not looking for anything pretty, it's whatever. So here it is in all its glory. Got the bumper back on, got the headlights in, and the side markers. Also got the headlight washer, little housing thing there on. Got everything bolted up. My intercooler is all bolted together. The headlight is honed out so that it's direct flow straight to the turbo. Everything's back together. Wastegate's all tied in. Got my feed line, got my drain line, got my boost lines, and I got an O2 hooked up down there with a full exhaust. Basic setup. Got my CCV running through there, and I got the stock MAF in here for now, but I gotta swap that out eventually. But yeah, everything's together now, and it looks good. Like with the hood shut, everything looks super nice. Like that looks pretty much stock. Like other than the headlight thing there, you wouldn't even know. I gotta put the grills in at some point, but I gotta pull out this dent right there. So I've been waiting to put these on for the longest time now. I actually ordered these by mistake for the other car, for the 01 330, but these I ended up keeping them because I figured I'd be running them on my own car anyways. So super clean, super fresh, brand new kidney grills. Ooh, sheesh. So I have nothing but bad things to say about these. I mean, they look nice, but this is the quality you get from Amazon. You can't clip them in place. Like, should never be like that. Like, they're actually garbage. Like these clips up here, they don't even sit in the right place. Look at this. Doesn't even sit in the right place. So these are complete trash. Don't buy from cheap places on Amazon. I'll leave them in for now, but like even this, I had to cut this open here because this lever, every single time you move it, it would pull this whole thing out. Yeah, garbage. They look visually nice, but they're just complete trash. But anyways, this is the end of this video. If you like that video, definitely hit that subscribe button because there's more to come with this car. Still got to fix up a few things. Hit that like button. Let me know that you did like this. If you didn't like it, or if you did like it, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you thought of this anyways. And don't forget to join our Discord server. The link's in the description. And we will see you in the next one. See you later.